Loss is a recurring feeling for minds who believe they are bodies. By believing they are the body, they have taken part in the ego's world and are now seeking without finding. They say you cannot deny the body, but they also do not understand this is not what they are asked. It is not yet clear to them that identification with the body is all that maintains the idea of lack. The body is their home, for it follows them in everything they do. It is the image of the self, their last idea of security in a place without rest. It is loved and hated for what it is, the sum of man himself and the center of reality. They expect to be appreciated for this lump of flesh, for they believe in the value of the self they see. But appreciation is not what they feel, and so they seek beauty and recognition to adorn this dying thing. Once the body is believed to be what you are playing the game of death. And you will not see what this error means, for you have been blinded to the truth. The only clue now that can bring you back to reason is what you are experiencing. Only by confronting your experience of lack will you be able to understand what you now believe. You cannot change the experience unless you understand what the cause is. And as long as you do not acknowledge that it is the idea of your own death that is your real threat, it will be impossible to understand your experience. There can be no rest for that which will die. You are not the body, for you cannot die. This is the whole course. There is nothing more to add, for only here forgiveness is possible. If loss was real, what basis would forgiveness have then? It would be an empty concept, and its promise of love would be an insane thought. Heaven would be a fantasy that only a fool would believe. This is how it is if you are right. Only death would really matter, for with it everything else loses its meaning. Your body cannot die because it does not live. Life is not something measurable or anything time can take in its hands. It cannot be made something different from itself, for what is not life must necessarily be death. And what can death be but nothing now, that it does not do anything to what lives? What sense does the idea of life as a body make then? Be very sure you understand this, because you are now looking at the ego's foundation. If life belongs to eternity, how can the ego have any power when it is you who lives? The body is not a temptation you must learn to resist. It serves you in everything, for it is yours as long as the world will last. That does not mean you are it, but simply that it can be used for light or darkness. You do not know the difference because you do not see the value in peace. You think it is imagined when it is there, because everything is still under death's rule. And when peace is seen as threatened, it is imagined. It is for this reason the course seems difficult. It is why you cannot seem to rest. The totality of peace is denied by not accepting what God has created. Here you will wander and fight against thoughts of death until you find peace in this message. Salvation is not dependent on you besides your consent, for you are still as God created you. Remember this. It marks the beginning of peace. And what a joyous gift you now are giving your brothers. What a joyous gift the Son has received from his Father.